I'm Edwin Warfield, the publisher of CityBiz, and I'm honored today to interview Joseph Latino, who is the president of Allergy Technologies. Welcome, Joseph.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Edwin.
Can you provide an introduction to Allergy Technologies and the solutions and products that it provides to the affordable housing industry?
Of course. Allergy Technologies started, as far as I know, in 2003, and it introduced a novel concept called Active Guard, a flagship product, which is formulated like a fitted sheet that it goes over the bedding, either the mattress or the box spring, and it both kills and prevents bedbug infestations for 2 years. And we were in that field. I joined the company in approximately 2010, 2011, and we did fairly well in terms of penetrating primarily the pest control market, but also hotels, because obviously bed bugs were quite relevant in terms of infestations in hotels. But we realized in approximately 2017 that bed bugs could not be controlled by one product. And it was really, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to kill bed bugs effectively. So what we did was we created a service program. And we created the service program around 2017, 2018. It was called ATTACK. ATTACK is an acronym for Allergy Technologies, Affordable Housing, Control and Prevention of Bedbugs, which is a mouthful. Much easier to say ATTACK. And we started off, we introduced this to the city council in Philadelphia. They thought that the program had some teeth, had some legs to it. They'd like to trial it. And they had a facility in Southeast Philly that we trialed. It was a nice property, a clean property, but they were being devastated with bed bugs. They had somewhere between 70 and 90 varied incidents a year. They were spending over $150,000 a year in just bed bug remediation. We came in. We really didn't disrupt the pest control operator who was there. We just gave them a different game plan. We gave them the ATTACK game plan. And in 1 year, or a little bit less than that, we reduced their annual incident rate. That means how many times they had bed bugs that needed to be treated from 70 to 80 or 70 to 90 down to 3 incidents per year. And we've sustained that level for 5 years. We're actually now 6th year. I would imagine around 2022, and I'll define the ATTACK platform. The ATTACK platform is a property-wide preventive-based platform. And what it does is it basically seeks the collaboration of property managers, pest control, residents. It's a very holistic, resident-centric approach to treating an entire building rather than playing whack-a-mole and just treating and putting out fires when a bed bug problem. So we treat the entire building holistically. It is also very preventive-based. So we implement preventive measures to stop this from recurring. So in essence, Edwin, we take a building that is infested, we reduce it down to zero or ground zero. When I say ground zero, I mean non-detectable bed bugs. And then we sustain that near zero level for months and years. We did this in our demonstration property, Philadelphia Housing Authority, in around 2022 said, do you think you could replicate this in our other housing authority buildings? We said, of course, we believe we can. And they put out what's known as an RFP, or a request for proposals. And I guess there were about 5 or 6 other bidders. I think we put together a very comprehensive response, and we won the bid. It was a $3 million per year or $15 million 5-year bid to be taking care of bed bugs throughout the Philadelphia Housing Authority. We started off, but Philadelphia Housing, and I don't blame them, you want to put your toe in the water before you jump into the pond, so to speak, and they slowly spun out the buildings to us in a slow rollout manner. Around the second year, where we had about half of the properties under control, they put out another RFP but this time for general pest control, primarily for rodents, for roaches, and other what I'll call public health nuisance pests, interior pests. We call them structural pests. I guess we were sitting under the good graces, okay, because we won that RFP as well. And we have been implementing ATAC for both bed bugs and for general pests for the last year, but it's now in our third year. And PHA now is seriously, I can't say it is because I'll see it when I believe it, but they are now talking to us seriously about taking over their entire housing authority, all 12,000 units, so that we can say we are controlling the Philadelphia Housing Authority for bed bugs and other nuisance pests. Our results for the listeners is we've reduced bed bugs by routinely 95% or less than previous numbers. Bed bugs, roaches and rodents, we're getting similar results. It varies from building to building. Some buildings have been neglected, as you would imagine in affordable housing. It takes a little bit longer. But the key, the secret sauce, as they say, is we get the residents involved. We get them to be part of the solution. We hire residents under Section 3. We give residents jobs to actually act as liaisons. They open doors, they spread notifications and other type of paperwork so that we get them involved, because frankly, the first step in treating affordable housing, the most formidable step, is getting in the unit door. If you ask most housing authorities what their entry rate or their forced entry rate is, meaning how many times do they have police assistance to get into a unit, they'll quote 30, 35%. Our rate is less than 2%. And why? Because we're getting the involvement of the residents and the property managers. It almost sounds like a kumbaya type phenomena, and I'm not saying that, but we're all paddling in the same direction. And the success and the results speak for themselves.
So, Allergy Technologies was founded by Gus Carey in 2001. He was a background included being a managing partner at a well-known commercial real estate firm, WP Carey, and he was also president of some REITs. Can you share the original vision and some of the milestones for the company?
For the company, yes. For Gus, no. For Gus, he was extremely successful with WPC Carey. REITs, for those that don't know, are real estate investment trusts. It's a financial instrument, a vehicle. It was very lucrative, and WPC Carey still exists today and is still very lucrative. I think Gus's vision originally for the company was about ActiveGuard. He purchased the assets of ActiveGuard, the liner, from a European group, or a UK group. It was actually designed originally not for bed bugs. We did the reformulation for bed bugs. It was originally designed to stop dust mites. And dust mites is the single largest causative factor in human asthma. So I think the overall vision for the company is always trying to get back to asthma in some way, shape, or form. I think what we're doing with the ATAC platform is actually going back to asthma itself, because if we can reduce pests that all contribute to the allergens that causes or triggers asthma, we'll kind of fulfill the mission. But the milestones have been with ActiveGuard. We inherited the EPA labeling of ActiveGuard. It was very formidable. We spent probably 5 to 7 years working with the EPA and other investigators to get a much more user-friendly label. So much so now that the label has no precautionary words on it. Anyone can use it. There are no hazardous statements for animals, domestic animals or humans. That was a huge milestone. The second milestone was in 2017, developing what was now the ATAC bedbug program, certainly, and trialing it in 2019 and getting PHA to adopt the program in 2021 and now in 2022 for other nuisance pests.
So, what are your primary responsibilities as president of Allergy Technologies?
I draw the line at cleaning plates. That's the one place where I will draw the line. Excuse me. It is a combination of an operative role as well as a presidential role, in the sense that my my druthers, so to speak, is to garner other housing authorities, to bring them into the fold. But from an operational standpoint, it's working with my colleagues and subcontractors to make sure that our buildings are being treated properly and that we're effective in our treatments. Um, Obviously, they have all the financial responsibilities involved with the company. I'm in charge of the manufacture of ActiveGuard, which is actually manufactured in London. We still manufacture in the UK, which you can imagine with Brexit was a lot of work. And we actually source out fabric from Spain, have it travel to Europe to be, or London actually, to have it manufactured, and here in the US. So I'm responsible for that. I mean, I wear multiple hats. We're a relatively small company. We're not top heavy. Most of our work is kind of what I call a 1099 based company, where we do a lot of work through contracting.
So you touched on the Active Guard product, the flagship product. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Is there any more?
Sure, sure. I'd, I would love to. ActiveGuard is a revolutionary product. It is not a frontline product. And when I say, let me define frontline. You would not have a bedbug infestation and then put ActiveGuard on immediately and expect this to be something out of Star Trek and all the bedbugs would just disappear, because the bedbugs actually have to come into contact with the liner for it to be effective. It's a contact killer. What separates ActiveGuard from the rest of the pack is, number one, there is only one ActiveGuard. So I'm pleased to say we have a monopoly on what's known as generically active mattress liners. It's often conflated with encasements, which are kind of these covers that go over mattresses and box springs with a zipper. But what encasement does, it prevents ingress and egress of bedbugs into and out of the bed, out of the mattress or the box spring. ActiveGuard does not work like that. It's not. There are no zippers. It's placed on the bed like a fitted sheet. Okay, there are only 4 sizes: single, fulls, queens, and kings. But it works on contact kill. So when a bedbug walks across the fabric, it actually will eventually die depending upon its resistance level. But the unique information that we found working with the University of Ohio and University of Minnesota is that any bedbug, regardless of resistance, which touches the fabric, the females, well, bedbugs generally can't bite. They lose their ability to feed. If a bedbug can't bite and a female can't bite and she can't get a blood meal, she can't drop her eggs. That's just a biological fact. It's dogma. So the fact of the matter is, by using ActiveGuard, we can stop introductions. Bedbugs are not introduced into rooms in the thousands. You usually get 2 or 3 that come in with your suitcase, they come in with a backpack, they come in maybe the cuff of your pants. And what happens unaddressed, one pregnant female can turn into 30,000 bedbugs. And where do bedbugs normally gravitate to? By their name, the bed. 95% of bedbugs are found within a 5-foot radius of the bed. So just in terms of statistical frequency, we contact a lot of bedbugs in their early stage, and that's how we can prevent infestations.
So what is the state of the bed bug market, and where do you stand in that context?
Well, the state of the bedbug market, I would say probably well over 75% of pest management professionals throughout the country treat for bedbugs. But like anything else, you know the old 80-20 rule? Well, because there's been such consolidation in the pest management market, it's probably the 90-10 rule, that the top 5 players, the Rentokils, the Terminixes, the Orkins, the Anticimex, they probably control 90% of the market. Okay? I'm proud to say we're partners with all of them. We subcontract to all of them, okay, for the ATAC program, and eventually we feel this will dribble into the other non-ATAC properties. Bedbugs in 2024, I think, hit a lull, but a lot of that had to do with COVID. COVID obviously stopped traveling, stopped vacations. A lot of hotels closed because there was no conventions and things of that nature. So you saw a little bit of a kind of stasis with bedbugs. But if you're looking at 2025 and 2024, so I'm talking about 2023. But in 2024, certainly you see an upward trend. I wouldn't call it exponential, but I certainly would say there's a high linear increase in bedbug frequency throughout the country.
And what has ATAC's impact on affordable housing?
It's remarkable. Affordable housing has always been considered the number one repository of bedbugs in the country, but they couldn't touch it. ATAC is a huge, I should say, affordable housing is a huge unmet need. You have probably a 15 billion with a B, $15 billion market. Housing authorities, however, you can't approach them. The residents are not compliant. The managers don't care. There's 1,000 different impediments that have been reported about why affordable housing should not be treated. And we have broken the barrier. We broke the ceiling. We flipped the script. I can come up with a lot of different expressions for you, Edwin, but the bottom line is we are effectively making the quality of life of residents in affordable housing far, far better, and are changing affordable housing so that it can be a nurturing environment.
And so, what are the growth plans for Allergy Technologies? Who are you targeting?
Our targets remain affordable housing throughout the country. We started in Philadelphia. We now are working for Rockford Housing Authority, which is a suburb of Chicago, and we plan on launching nationally because we have subcontracted to the major pest management players throughout the country. Our footstep is from coast, or our footprint, I should say, is from coast to coast. So we plan on picking up every housing authority we can, and there's going to be a critical mass. I don't think we're there yet, but certainly our sample size with Philadelphia and Rockford is such that this is not a fly in, this is not a fly on the wall. We are significantly making a dent in pest control, and I think it's operationally, it's a different way of delivering a service, because instead of, when you have a service provider. And you have a problem, whether it's your internet or your electric or your gas, you call them, and if the if the person that's coming to you, you're not there immediately to receive them, and they give you a window of 6 hours to arrive, they walk away and they say you weren't available. We don't do that. With using residents as kind of coordinators or facilitators, we are successfully getting into affordable housing units. And we are successful. So when we go out there, Edwin, say we're going to do 40 units in any particular day, because a lot of these housing authorities are huge. We have one property that's over 700 units. 40 units, if they were normally going to do it, they may get into 5, 6. We routinely get into 35 or 38. Okay, so there's an economy of scale here. There is a better deployment of labor. It's a more effective way of delivering a service. As a matter of fact, I could think that this is just not confined to pest control. Other service providers should consider hiring the residents to be as facilitators, for a better choice of word, door openers, to get the doors open to provide this service. We want pest control to do what they do best, which is simply do their pest control. We don't want them to be we like them to be socially aware and socially conscious, but we're not looking to, make them overly friendly, overly solicitous. We want them simply to do their work in a professional manner. And we've cut away all the other kind of entanglements, so to speak.
So, Joseph, is there any part of the Allergy Technologies story or your story that you'd like to share with us that you haven't shared with us?
I, as you can see by the color of my hair, okay, I've been around a long time. I have done work in medical devices. I've worked with the NIH. I've worked with the FDA. I've been chairman of my own company for medical devices. I was in hematology oncology laboratories. I have never, ever, ever been involved with a project that has such a significant impact. Ever. Okay, it's touching so many human lives. People that normally would never let us in. When I go visit a site visit at a property, they actually come out of the street, off the street, and hug me. During COVID, they wanted to invite me in for lunch because they've never lived in a pest-free environment. I know this sounds Pollyanna, but it's not meant to be. Okay, it really is changing the lives of people. You get that opportunity, Edwin, you try to hold on to it and you develop it as best you can.
Well, Joseph, thank you for sharing your personal journey and the story of allergy technologies. It's been a fascinating journey, and keep up your important mission. And we look forward to touching base in the coming years.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.